I put up a video earlier this week talking about hair loss in men and erectile dysfunction and the crossover between certain medications. The one that I mentioned was finasteride. So today I want to talk about hair loss in men, erectile dysfunction, and the crossover between type 2 diabetes. So anywhere up to 50% of men who have type 2 diabetes will suffer from erectile dysfunction and some form of hair thinning or shedding. And that's because it's the same issue that actually leads to both problems, and that's endothelial dysfunction. So that's just a fancy word basically for narrowing of the capillaries and the veins. So once those veins and capillaries have been restricted, the key blood flow is actually cut off from the areas where we need it. So like the penis, like the follicles. So when we think about the circulatory system, it's responsible for carrying oxygen, nutrients and blood to those follicles in order to keep our hair healthy and fed. When we restrict those veins and capillaries, our hairs begin to shed. The good news is it can be reversible if you catch it in time with type 2 diabetes. So the way that I work is with microneedling, okay? For the scalp, not the penis, we charge extra for that. We microneedle in exosomes because they contain key growth factors and they are already in our bodies doing those jobs. But when we have these types of issues like type 2 diabetes, it can actually restrict the job that those growth factors do because they just can't reach the site that they're needed. So I use the microneedle with exosomes because their primary function is repair of existing capillaries, but also to promote the growth of new capillaries. Once we have those new capillaries, then the blood flow, the oxygen and the nutrient supply is actually restored to the scalp, which can allow those new hairs to grow. So my advice is if you are suffering from type 2 diabetes and you have some form of hair loss, book in for a consultation. I can tell you the stage of hair loss that you're at and whether or not that hair restoration journey can begin, whether it's reversible or not. Okay, so if you'd like any more information on anything that I just mentioned there, you can give me a call on 062 888002 or you can DM me in confidence right here. See you later.